I can't see this stuff anymore. AI slop on social media every single week. Somebody's revolutionizing the world, mostly for nothing. So a few months ago, I asked myself, what do I do regularly that is annoyingly painful? Can AI help me avoid this? There are the 4 answers I came up with. All of them are running in production. All of them save me or on real time. And one of the 4 I don't even use anymore. That's part of the truth too. Quick context, so you know who's talking. I have a basic understanding of IT and architecture, but I cannot code. Not a single line. Everything you're about to see was built with AI, not by me writing scripts. And one more thing before we start. Nobody is paying me to mention any of these tools. I'll name names because being vague would defeat the whole point. I use Claude for code, Gemini for current research, sometimes ChatGPT or Grok for other things. These are my honest experiences. If a different tool works better for you, go for it. 4 projects in the order they happened. Each one taught me something the next one needed. So I'm interested in financial markets, not as a day trader, I have a job and a life, but I want to know what's going on with my portfolio. So I would disappear into the doom loop on X for 30 minutes. Bad inputs, bad mood, bad start of the day. So I built this. Every Friday at 5 p.m., market close, I get an email, my portfolio value, the week's performance, and most importantly, a short analysis of every position in the context of what happened in the world that week. It doesn't replace an analyst, but it keeps me on top of things. And I understand the context. Yeah, I know, just open your portfolio. Sure, I could do that, but where is the market data? That would lead to many clicks and research. And again, this is for me, and me, I save time. It's 1 email a week, reading time 3 to 5 minutes, and I know where my investment stands. Your approach might differ. Well, go for it. Whatever makes your boat float. Quick word on tooling, because this is the part most people overcomplicate. GitHub, yes, that's the place where programmers store their code, also offers something called workflows. It's a free way to schedule tasks. So every Friday at 5 p.m., run the script, send this email. It is free and reliable and no need for paid tools like Gumloop or Make. The one-time setup, a few hours with Claude to write the Python script. I keep one CSV file, with my positions and prices, and if I buy or sell something, I update the file. That's it. Running cost, it's roughly 1 cent per newsletter. So it's been running since March completely on its own. I've touched it maybe twice to update my positions. The portfolio newsletter worked so well that I got greedy. What if I had a daily brief every morning, the last 24 hours of world news, filtered for what actually matters to the markets? For this one, I switched the architecture. Gemini is the source because Gemini combined with Google search gives me the freshest, most relevant results. Claude does the summary and the analysis, 2 tools, each doing what they are best at. Same setup as before. GitHub Action costs 1, maybe 1.5 cents per brief. Worked from day 1. And here's where I have to be honest. This one ran for about 6 weeks and then I stopped reading it. Not because it was bad, the brief was good, it just didn't fit my day. I'm not someone who reads long emails before breakfast, and if there's actually a war breaking out in Iran, I'll hear about it without a newsletter. The Friday version is enough for me. That's the part nobody tells you in AI videos. Building a thing that works is one problem. Building a thing that meets your needs is a completely different animal. So I solved the first and I failed the second. Project 3 came from a dinner conversation. Anne has a full-time job. She also teaches Pilates on the side in several different studios. At the end of every month, she creates invoices. This is somewhat stressful, the way most people feel about admin work. Do I have your attention now? And as a loved one, you take on your partner's problems. Bonus, when I have to do invoices, at least I'll have a head start. I watched how she did it. She kept a calendar of every class anyway. The studios pay different hourly rates, so she would manually go through the calendar at month end, count the hours per studio, type them into invoices, and export the PDFs. And here was the moment of truth. Boom! What if every appointment had a code, a short code per studio? What if Anj just kept a separate Pilates calendar and exported it once a month? Code equals studio, appointment length equals numbers of hours, invoice template defined once, studio data entered once. Done. In Claude, one can set up so-called skills. I taught Claude the skill how to write invoices. Now one types one sentence and attach the calendar export, and within seconds the invoices are ready, while she's having a cake. And here's the most important thing I've learned from this whole AI journey. The magic isn't just the AI. The magic is your abstraction of reality. What I mean is, I didn't ask the AI to be smart. I asked myself, what's the simplest structure that would help her? A calendar export, fixed hourly rates per studio, invoice template. That's 3 ingredients, and all the AI does is connecting them. Anne saves about an hour a month. That doesn't sound like much, but it's an hour of admin she hated. And for me, I now have the template ready for when I need to write invoices for my own side hustle. Once you've done invoices, the next obvious annoyance is the profit and loss statement. Let's be honest, doing the P&L is right behind doing your taxes on the list of soul-crushing admin work. The setup is dead simple. One folder, 2 subfolders, income and expenses. Throughout the year, every receipt I get, PDF, photo, whatever, lands in one of those 2 folders. That's all I'm doing during the year. And at the end of the year, I run one of those skills in Claude, and it goes through both folders. Identifies PDFs and images, reads the supplier or the customer, reads the date, and reads the amount. And here's the smart part. Some of my expenses are only partially deductible. My mobile phone bill, for instance. Claude finds the telecom invoice, asks me once what percentage is business. I answer once, and from then on it remembers and applies the same percentage to every other telecom bill. And while it's at it renames everything to a clean format. I have chosen date, vendor, invoice number, the kind of organization I would never have the discipline for myself. So the output is a clean Excel sheet. Done. Manually, this used to take me 2, 3, or 4 hours minimum. Now it's one prompt. The rest happens while I make coffee. One honest note. Yes, the receipts leave my computer when Claude processes them. For my side hustle, that's a trade-off I'm willing to make. If you wouldn't be, you need a local AI setup. That's more work, more money, and you need a serious machine. It's a judgment call. But just so we are clear, would I let Claude read my emails? No, definitely not. And because I'm doing all this, and because I make videos like this, and because I love wingfoiling, I started thinking, could I optimize how to do videos too? Here's what I built. I export a GPS or GPX file from my Garmin watch. I drag it into the app. It generates an animated video or a text overlay with speed, distance, and heart rate that I can drop on my timeline without keyframing. So the app is finished. I'm submitting to the store in the next few days, and I will produce a full video on it soon. So that's where I am right now. 4 routines I no longer do myself. One I tried and dropped, and 2 more apps in development. And a steady stream of small ideas. A kind of compounded interest. Here's the thing I keep coming back to. The magic isn't the AI. The magic is figuring out how to abstract a piece of your life into something simple enough that a tool can handle it. Once you see it that way, AI stops being scary or magical. It just becomes a very patient assistant who never gets bored. And what do you do with the time you save? Well, we travel and we enjoy life, which, if you've been on this channel before, is exactly what we are going to keep doing. Question for you though. What's the one task in your life that bores you to death every week or month? Drop it in the comments. If enough good ideas come in, we might build the next project together.